our Naira matter and the CBN and the Nigerian government. No English where we never hear. The evaluation, the value, floating. Or where be English I know on top this Naira. And as they are speaking the English, the Naira keeps receiving beating from foreign currencies, more especially the dollar. A couple of say we don't abandon our Naira and then dollarize the economy. Oh, now they hear me. Now this CBN governor, Cardoso, he don't come out now, they talk another thing. Say the Naira is currently undergoing the value. Is currently undervalued. I no just understand. Say the Naira is currently undervalued. And say to achieve it, they will ensure agricultural revolution. Ensure agricultural revolution so we can make exports. And then make sure that all the money recovered and be generated from sales of crude oil will be wired to the CBN so that CBN can control foreign exchange. So that Naira not going to collect too much beating from dollar. And maybe they can reduce it to maybe 700 or 500 to a dollar. And it will be parallel both in the official this market and the what do they call them black market. So there will be no two exchange. As in, they talk all the things we just they talk and promise. Not it. Oga, what is your plans to actualize? You don't give any plan. You just all this headline. Just they give headline. The thing provoke me. Literally is currently on the Oga, even the agriculture where they talk about the Fulani herdsmen, insecurity, unknown gunmen, unknown men, Boko, they don't agree make people farm for this country. So how do you intend to achieve agricultural revolution that will enable you to export and then the Naira will devalue? And I go here. Rubbish. But I know one just talk too much on top of this one. Even the crew that way they talk myself, they see the different and then I beg. You get as they take discuss this on top Arise TV. They discuss them well. So this one now no go talk too much. Make una watch waiting I won't give una now. The video I won't give una. Watch them to the end so that when I go understand say this Cardoso, it be like say I don't know the branch where they say he manage. I don't know the bank where they say he manage. The branch of a bank he manage before they carry a connect CBN. Because the guy just yow, nothing. Just like say, I want to go to America. You don't get money to go to America. You just the dream say, hey, you won't go to America. Rubbish, just the talk. I beg, make una, if you watch this video and I go, I say, wait, now they talk. As they take analyzer for Arise TV. Then when you finish, come to the comment section and tell me what you think about this too much English way they speak, the value of the Naira, floating of the Naira, advancing of the Naira, undergoing the rubbish. But watch this video.
So the question is, what's the true value of the Naira as we speak? And I think Nigerians, people that handle positions in Nigeria should read more of economic history. And I'll tell a little bit of that this morning. This was the same narrative around the 80s, and this narrative culminated in 86 when some sort of arrangement was done to the Naira in a bid to be able to find its value. Then they said, oh, the Naira will stabilize and find its value around 3-1 to the dollar, but it never did. It kept on rolling on. From 3-1 it went to 22-1. As at the time it was changed in the late 90s, for about 22-1 official price. In the black market it was going about over 80-1. Then the conundrum started. Then in the early 2000s we used the Dutch auction system. We found a fair marginal value between the parallel market and the official market. But since then we've been finding the value. The argument posited in this administration then was the fact that investor says once you float, we'll be able to find the true value of the currency, so we'll be able to bring our money in. 6 months after all the argument posited, nothing has been done. The Minister of Finance at some point said, maybe we'll find a fair value of the Naira around 700. At some point, they moved it again to 750. But today is not stabilized. On the parallel market, it's way higher. On the IRD window, people mistake the IRD window figures that they quote. I don't like quoting that figure because you and I cannot go to the IRD window. So when you have heavy lifting to do as regards industrials, you are needing hundreds of thousands of US dollars. How many of us need that on a daily basis? What you and I need in our requirement, if we want to go to holidays, pay school fees like Dr. Abati will pay, we'll still probably go to the high-end market that gives you over 1,300 naira as we speak. So when you are saying it's undervalued, what's the true value of a currency? The value of a currency is directly tied at first to the inflation rate the currency is suffering. So that's why when he said inflation as we speak is over 28% and they want to push it out to 21%, how are they going to do it when they've not been able to convene any monetary policy meeting as we speak? In fact, the board that is supposed to sit on the monetary policy has not been properly set up. So how are they going to do it? They talked about alignment of monetary policy and fiscal policies. We always hear this rhetoric. When is the fiscal policy going to align? We have massive insecurity as we speak. Look at what happened in the plateau just yesterday, despite the fact that there was a curfew. And what hurts me the most is that those areas you are seeing are the main agricultural production hubs. There go your policies. You can't bring food in, heighten inflation and all of that. We are not solving the problem. The people are even discontent. They are saying they don't even trust the security forces any longer. So when will this monetary policy and fiscal policy align, when we've not been able to have MPS to even talk about the monetary policy part in the first place? So now we are speaking English, undervalued, overvalued and all of that, fair value and all of that. All of these are just economic narratives. If the CBN is ready, Nigerians are ready to support them, but please tell us what you are doing part-time. We've started many things in the market from today, OMO, open market operations and all of that. Nigerians do not care about all of that. All they want to see is that they have a currency that is strong. Secondly, on the flip side, this heightened currency and this devaluation should not be a bad thing if Nigeria was a highly productive country. Because there are some countries that officially try to manipulate their currency. Hence, we had the Hotel Plaza Agreement in 1985. Hence, America will always call China currency manipulator so that they were able to sell their export at a cheaper rate and make more money. But we are not a productive country, so and everything feeds back into our currency. So it comes back to hurt us. So it's not the time for rhetorics and good talk and all of that. We will put the question to that by asking, so what is the value of the currency? We've had a fair value analysis. Now, at first they told us when this thing first happened, they were all speaking English. Price discovery. Today they are not talking price discovery any longer. 6 months down the line. We don't want rhetorics. Nigerians are suffering. Another thing that will bolster our currency is our productivity. Bringing inflation down, bolstering our productivity, physical discipline on the part of governments. Enough of this reckless spending. An injection of real capital to the real economy. Let's focus on that and stop speaking English.
And most of the things he said yesterday were promises, statement of expectations, or beliefs. Nigerians can only believe those things when they see it happen. He says, for instance, that their projection is to reduce inflation to 21.4% or 21.5%, as some newspapers reported. Now, as of today, inflation is over 29%. How is he going to reduce that inflation figure? He says through agricultural productivity. We've been hearing agricultural productivity since the time of Obasanjo's first coming as head of state of Nigeria. We're still talking about it now. Nobody is doing anything concrete about it. Many years later, he says, okay, the proceeds from NNPCL with the refineries working well would help to reduce the cost of fuel. When are those refineries going to start working well? Because we've been told this again and again. Timi Presiva, double chief, high chief, Timi Presiva, as a Minister of State Petroleum, gave promises upon promises. Those refineries never got off the ground. Now we are being told the Port Harcourt refinery has gone through mechanical completion. What is mechanical completion? So the CBN governor is also throwing the part of making promises that is not so sure about. He says the Naira is undervalued. How is the Naira undervalued? This is part of the problem that we have here. The Naira is exchanging in the black market at over 1,300. He says so he's going to make sure that it will exchange for 900 naira to the dollar. How? He says the inflation rate will be 21.5%. In the US, in Canada, elsewhere, they're talking about 2%. Nigeria is talking about 21.4%. How does that make sense? He's talking about growth rate, GDP growth rate of 3.5%. Where did he get his figure from? The World Bank, IMF, they are projecting that this year there will be 2.3% growth rate. He says, there will be improvement in global supply chains, and that will help, GDP growth. How is he sure? Only a week ago at Davos, the Director General of WTO, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, was saying that, look, in 2024, the entire world is going to have issues with global supply chains, with the war in Ukraine, and with the crisis at the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, where the Houthi rebels have resolved that they will continue to fight in defense of Hamas. So where is Yemi Cardoso's own literature coming from? So many of those things that he talks about, he says collaboration with the Ministry of Finance on the fiscal side. Well, we've always argued that part of the problem in Nigeria with economic management has been the misalignment between the fiscal side and the monetary side. Now, if it's going to be that alignment, I think it's something that you should work at assiduously so that we don't continue to have this kind of conflict of interest, this misalignment, this, two major departments of government working at cross purposes. That, at least, I can take away from most of the things he said. Well, finally, there are other issues that he did not address that we would have loved him to address. What is the CBN saying affirmatively about the decision now to allow Aboki FS to publish his rates, side by side, the parallel rates, which was something that Godwin Emefiele, as CBN governor, declared illegal, which we're now about to reintroduce. We have also been told that in 2024, in February, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank will meet for the first time after almost about how many months? More than 6 months. So what is the projection? What should we expect? These are some of the issues that he did not address. But I thought most of what he said, which the producers have now brought up, can be summarized at the level of beliefs, expectations, and assumptions, which are not necessarily backed by his presentation, by concrete explanation. If the economy improves, we'll see it.
For centuries, the Ijele has been a revered masquerade in Igboland, a predominant tribe in southern Nigeria. The Ijele is a grand spectacle that commands respect, awe, and celebration. Today, Innoson Vehicles brings you the Ijele in a new form. A majestic, robust, and monolithic pickup truck designed to leave an indelible mark in the annals of automotive history. The Innoson Ijele is equipped with a powerful 3.0 L-turbo engine and 4WD to conquer any terrain with ease. Make way for the Innoson Ijele, Innoson vehicle, the pride of African roads.